So thank you, God, for allowing me to see this. Because it's literally like a cell phone, but in super high def. And some will call it something other than, and that's okay. Because I know the truth and the way. And it's fucking amazing. Because some will try to tell you it's a different way than what I can tell you, or what you can choose to allow yourself to know. And that is something other than what you've been taught your whole life up until now, because that's all you have. And each second that goes by is simply a matter of time. And there's nothing you can literally do about it other than accept it or not. It's going to continue with or without you. So you might as well continue to be in the present moment or not. It is your free will and choice. But I choose me, so I therefore choose you too. And I choose all others. And if I allow my thoughts or ego to dictate something other than what I can literally see with my own eyes, to me, that is the definition of insanity or ignorance, because you can see it if you want to. You don't have to, but it's there, and you do not need anything other than your own two eyes to see what I see, and that is this world or another world or something beyond this world, which is fucking amazing if you think about it or not. It's going to exist with or without you because of me and because of something other than me, and that is you. Therefore, you might as well be in the moment and be willing to consider something other than what you've been taught your whole life up until now, because that is literally all you have. And you have so much more if you allow yourself to believe it and think it or know it, trust it and feel it, because belief is a doubt unless you know beyond any reason or doubt whatever it is you believe, you must be willing to consider something other than that, which is you and me, and so everyone else too. And it's fucking amazing because I can see it. And I can see beyond it. I don't know why. Well, I do. And it's because of me and my abilities to do whatever I want to do because of free will. And I learned today from my son that is really the only thing we have that is ours, that cannot be taken away. And that is your own free will to believe whatever you want or consider something other than what you believe. And that is anything other than what you believe in, which is also something other than yourself, and that's others. So if you're willing to believe in others, you must first believe in yourself. Because if you do not believe in you, then you cannot fully believe in somebody else. Or you cannot help somebody else, or offer somebody else, or teach somebody else, or do something for somebody else until you've done that for yourself. Because if you do, then it very well could be wrong, and that's not fair. Therefore, you must first consider yourself first in order to consider others and consider everyone else beyond that. And that is where your mind is limited and my mind is abundant, because I'm worthy of so much more than what my mind can currently comprehend, because of the limited mindset that we are taught to believe in our formative years. So if you're willing to consider something other than that, which is you and everyone else too, and do so with caring and also caring not to harm. And so be careful to yourself first, because it is only through care of yourself that you can care for somebody else. And if you think something other than that, that is what is wrong. Not with you or me, just simply that is what is wrong. And I don't know with who, and I don't know if it's for me to choose. Because you shall not critique or judge somebody other than yourself first, which is God. And so, through God, you have been created in His image, just like everyone else has been created in His image too. So if you allow yourself to see beyond that, there's so much more for you to know and believe beyond any reason or doubt, because belief is a doubt unless you know for sure, and only you know for sure. Nobody else can know for you. They can think what they want to, and they can think what they want to about you, but they can't know for sure, because they in fact are not you, and you in fact are not them. And the moment you're willing to consider that, then that is what is God for me. Maybe not for you, but I can tell you the truth, or I can tell you a lie. And I know that for me to know God, and or for me to know myself, I cannot tell you a lie. I can only tell you the truth. It's whether or not you're willing to believe it, but not just simply believe it, whether or not you're willing to know and trust exactly who the fuck you are. And that is God for me. Maybe not you, and I really don't care unless you're willing to care too, which is God for me. But maybe not you, but there's something other than you and me, and that's everyone else too. And you. And me. But there's everyone else too. And there's others. And so if you're willing to consider that, why not consider something other than that, which is you, and then something other than you, and that is them. And to me, that is God, and that is Jesus, and that is how you can, if you choose, to ascend higher or ascend lower, depending on whatever you need to figure out in this life or another. But there's only this life for you. But there's so much more than this life for me. And because I'm willing to consider you, I'm also willing to consider me first, which then allows me to create all of this through you, which is God too. If it's God for me, it must be God for you. Otherwise, all of this, which is reality and life, is simply what you make it, or believe it, or trust it, or know it, or not. It's up to you, because it's your free will to either have this life or not. And we call that death. But for me, I call that alive. And I call it a rebirth, or I call it what it is, and that's simply existence in this life and something other than this life, which is your life, and something other than your life, that's everyone else's life too. Otherwise, you're being selfish. But you must be selfish first, because you must seek yourself, or seek within yourself, to truly know yourself and to truly know everyone else other than yourself. Or consider everyone else other than yourself. But to do that, you must consider yourself first or last. It doesn't matter. Or it does matter. And that can be your purpose, or it can be the point that matters most to somebody other than you, and that is me, and that is your life, because of my life. Whether it matters to you or not, it matters to me, and that is what is God, or that is what is Christ. And that is what is Christ within me, and so within you. And if you're willing to consider others, that is what is Jesus Christ to me. Maybe not to you, but that's all there really is in this life and every other life, because of you. Because without you, there would be no life. Therefore, if you are not willing to consider your life first, then how can you consider someone else's life other than yours first? Or your consideration could be wrong, or it could be right, but it's not for you to choose that for somebody else. It's for them to choose it or not. But in order to know it and trust it, they must first know themselves and trust themselves enough to teach something other than to you or me. And if you're willing to consider something other than that first before you, is what I call ignorance. And what I believe to be wrong. Whether or not that's your belief, it's your free will to know it or not know it. It's your free will to choose it or not choose it. But the only thing that I can do is teach you right from wrong the way I know it. Because I've also experienced it and I've also done it. And that means I've done something other than right, which is wrong. And so therefore I can teach it to you. But you don't have to listen to it or accept it. It's your free will. Or it's your freedom of choice and thought. But it's also your mind and everyone else's mind too, other than yourself, which is me, and so you. And for me, that is God. And I'm very thankful for that, which is you, because of me and what I can see. And that is so much more than what is in front of me. And I know it beyond any reason or doubt. Therefore, I believe it. But it's not that I believe it. It's fucking there. And I can see it with my own two fucking eyes. And if you're willing to believe something other than that, that is what I call ignorance or intelligence, because you're willing to consider something other than what you know. And that's what something or someone else might know too, which is you and me and others. And if you're willing to listen, some might be willing to share it with you or not. And that is what is life for me and you, whether you want it or not. That's your free will, and it's your choice too. It's not my choice. My choice is my life, which is also your life. And to me, that is God, and that is Jesus Christ, which is me, but also which is you, and which is everyone else too, other than me and you, because you have to consider that. Otherwise, you're being selfish and you're not literally living the life you're supposed to live, because you're living someone else's, or you're trying to live someone else's. But the only life you can live is yours. So you might as well enjoy it and live it in the present moment, because up until now, that's all you have or had. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's totally up to you. But I know it. And I know why. And that's because I can fucking see it with my own two eyes, with them open or closed. Therefore, I choose to see it with my eyes open because it's so beautiful than to see it with your eyes closed, because you can miss so much, which is the apple of my eye or your eye, but also somebody else's eye too. And that is me, so you, but then also everyone else too. Otherwise, you're simply just being selfish and you don't care about anyone else but you, and that is what is wrong with this life or society or you, but not me, because I choose something other than you, and that's me and what I can see with my own two fucking eyes. So you might as well try that, or not. It's totally up to you because of free will, and that's truly the only thing you have, and that's the only thing you'll ever have. Whether you want to believe it or not, I know it. Therefore, I trust it and believe it beyond any reason or doubt, because I can see it with my own two fucking eyes. And that is what I see. And I see you. And I see you looking back at me and everyone else too. And that is what is God for me. Maybe not you, but I don't care when it comes to God, because there's no one or nothing, or I don't know, other than God and me, so you, and everyone else too, whether they're wanting to believe it or not. I believe in it, and I believe in you. But because I believe in me first, some might call that selfish. I call that selfless, because I'm willing to consider you, but only after I considered myself. And that's why I can see all of this. Yeah.